Well, as questions remain regarding the Lakewood Church attack on Sunday, authorities in Houston have literally gone silent. The intersectional qualities of the shooter, a non-U.S. citizen with a history of identifying as transgender and a trail of anti-Semitic rhetoric, mark this as the kind of story I think the left would rather go away. So far, comments to the media from the shooter's neighbors and former mother-in-law have shed more light on than what we've received from local police and the media. Joining me now to discuss this is Congressman Mike Ezell. He serves on the House Homeland Security Committee and the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. He represents the 4th Congressional District of Mississippi. He has more than 40 years of law enforcement experience. As I mentioned earlier, he served as sheriff of Jackson County, Mississippi, before being elected to Congress. Congressman Ezell, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me, Tony. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I want to start with this question. From your time in law enforcement, what do you make of the lack of information coming from Houston authorities?
Well, it's like some of the things that we've seen in the national media. You know, they want to control the narrative. They want to tell you what they want you to hear. They don't want to tell you the truth. And, by all, reality, it sounds like this person had some very serious issues. Of course, we know that if you bring your child somewhere with the intentions of doing harm to other people and then expect to survive that with, law enforcement there, it tells me that there's a lot going on that the media doesn't want to talk about. This person had all sorts of problems, criminal history and various things going on that probably should have been handled in the courts earlier. Maybe even this person shouldn't even been out, with some of the things that I've heard about her past.
Right.
And so, it's typical of the media not wanting to let everything out and let us decide what happened.
I mean, she had an extensive criminal record. That we know. That's fact. That's out there. The police have reported on that initially. Relatives told reporters that she was able to purchase firearms even after she had been involuntarily hospitalized in 2016 for psychiatric treatment. Now, officials have said that she bought the assault-style rifle in December that she used in the attack. Now, is it possible that her use of aliases, including a male alias while identifying as transgender, allowed her to evade gun protections? I mean, I would think with that type of record, somebody would have seen something.
Well, you would have thought so. As much as the general public is scrutinized every time you want to go buy a firearm, you would have thought that something would have showed up in her criminal history. I mean, if you're a felon, you can't buy a firearm. You can't own a firearm. Shouldn't have been able to purchase a firearm, convicted felon, or has a big history of criminal history. And again, it goes back to, why is this person even out? If they've got such an intensive criminal history that should have been checked, what are they doing out free, roaming around, doing some of the evil things they're doing, and some of the things we've seen going on across the country.
So Congressman, let me ask you this question. We're seeing, and you have, like I said, 40 years in law enforcement, and we've seen a lot of trends in the last decade in particular, and there's a hostility being fomented by policies, a lot of them coming from this city here in Washington, D.C., by the current administration toward churches. Now, we still don't know all the facts, but we're about to release a report here at the Family Research Council on this growing hostility towards churches. We've seen it double almost in the last year, the number of attacks on churches. Are you concerned about that?
Yes, I'm very much concerned about it. Back in my hometown, law enforcement is still highly respected. But, if you look at the general attitude about just this administration and so many of these liberal blue cities that don't care for religious freedom, and they always are out there making every negative comment that they can make about the local church and the believers in Jesus Christ, like I am. And, it tends to, these people with mental illness focus on, these people are evil and we need to do something about it. And I tell you something else, too. So many times first thing they want to do is take away our Second Amendment right. But if we would put these criminals in the penitentiary where they belong, they wouldn't be out here wreaking havoc on our society.
Well, I'm waiting for, call for more gun control, even though we have laws on the books that should cover this. And I'm with you.
Yes.
I mean, they want to take away our Second Amendment right. But I'm thinking they may not want to touch this one because of a different type of intersectionality that they don't want to talk about. The fact is that this is a woman who, by her neighbors, said that she identified as a transgender. We know that she is not a U.S. citizen. Now, we don't know if she was here legally or illegally. The police have not stated that, so we don't know that. You would think that they would go ahead and say that she was here legally if she was. So this ties in a lot of issues that the left would rather not talk about. And you sit on the Homeland Security Committee. You have been to the border. You know how porous the border is. And the fact that we have people coming across that border that don't just want to shoot up churches, they want to destroy America.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, this has been going on now since Joe Biden took office. Day one, when he took over, he opened that border up. He shut down, Keystone pipelines. He's done so many things that are non-productive for this country. But, by allowing these people to come across this border, and I guarantee you they're not coming here for the welcome wagon. They're coming here to do harm to Americans. And, this is going to be hung on Joe Biden's head for allowing this to happen. And, I guarantee you they'll be screaming from high heaven when something happens. And it's coming down the road. I've been a policeman too long to ignore these factors with these people coming across the border. So many of them are here to do ill will to us. And again, they'll go back and blame our Second Amendment rights for all these kinds of things. But you can bet there's some sleeper cells going on right now. But I guarantee you our police will be prepared for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Congressman Ezell, I want to thank you for joining us. Always great to see you. Thanks so much for stopping in today.
Thank you.